Learn English through story. The unseen cost. In the heart of a vibrant city, there lived a man named Victor. Known for his sharp intellect and unmatched drive, Victor had built a formidable career as a corporate attorney. His clients were among the wealthiest in the city, and his reputation for winning impossible cases made him one of the most sought-after lawyers in the country. Yet, despite his success, Victor was not a happy man. Victor's life was defined by his work. He was the first to arrive at the office each morning and the last to leave at night. He thrived on the high-stakes environment of corporate law, where every decision could mean millions of dollars. Over the years, Victor had amassed a significant fortune, living in a penthouse suite that overlooked the skyline and driving a sleek car that turned heads wherever he went. He had everything he had ever wanted, or so he thought. Despite his material wealth, Victor had little time for anything outside of work. His friendships had dwindled to mere acquaintances, his family relationships were strained, and he hadn't been on a vacation in years. He told himself that these were the necessary sacrifices for a successful career. He could always make time for those things later, once he had achieved everything he set out to do. One evening, Victor was preparing for a major case that could make or break his career. It was a complex merger that involved billions of dollars and several international companies. The pressure was immense, but Victor was confident in his abilities. As he sat in his office, surrounded by stacks of legal documents, his phone buzzed. It was a text message from his younger sister, Emma. "Mom's in the hospital. It's serious. You need to come." Victor stared at the message, his heart skipping a beat. He hadn't spoken to his mother in months, not because of any animosity, but simply because he was always too busy. He knew she had been unwell, but he had assumed it was nothing serious. Now, faced with the possibility of losing her, he felt a pang of guilt. He quickly packed up his briefcase and left the office, his mind racing as he drove to the hospital. When he arrived, he found Emma in the waiting room, her face pale and worried. "She had a heart attack," Emma said, her voice trembling. "The doctors are doing everything they can, but it doesn't look good." Victor's stomach churned as he followed Emma into the ICU. Their mother, Margaret, lay in the bed, her skin pale and her breathing labored. She looked frail, so much smaller than he remembered. The sight of her lying there, hooked up to machines, shook him to his core. As he stood by her bedside, memories flooded back, memories of his childhood, of the sacrifices she had made to give him and Emma a better life. She had been a single mother, working multiple jobs to ensure they had everything they needed. And yet, despite all she had done, Victor had distanced himself from her, consumed by his own ambitions. The doctors explained that Margaret's condition was critical, and there was little they could do but wait. Victor and Emma sat by her side, the hours dragging on in silence. As night fell, Emma finally spoke. "You know, she always asked about you," Emma said quietly. "She was so proud of everything you've accomplished, but she missed you. She missed having you around." Victor felt a lump in his throat. "I thought I was doing the right thing," he said, his voice breaking. "I wanted to give her something to be proud of, to repay her for everything she did for us." Emma shook her head. "She didn't need repayment, Victor. She just wanted you to be happy. She wanted you to have a life outside of work, to have love and joy. She wanted you to be present." Victor sat in silence, the weight of his choices crashing down on him. He had spent so much time chasing success, believing it would bring him happiness and fulfillment. But in doing so, He had neglected the people who truly mattered. He had lost sight of the fact that life was about more than just winning cases and making money. It was about connection, about being there for the ones you love. The hours passed, and Victor and Emma stayed by their mother's side, holding her hands and talking to her, even though she couldn't respond. Victor's mind was a whirlwind of regret and sorrow. He realized that all the money and prestige in the world couldn't make up for the lost time, for the moments he had missed, and the relationships he had neglected. As dawn approached, Margaret's breathing grew shallower, and the monitors began to beep more urgently. The doctors came in, but there was little they could do. Victor and Emma held their mother's hands, tears streaming down their faces as they whispered their goodbyes. Margaret passed away peacefully as the first light of day broke through the hospital windows. Victor felt a crushing sense of loss, not just for his mother, but for the time he could never get back. He had always thought there would be more time, more chances to make things right. But now, that time had run out. In the days that followed, Victor took a leave of absence from his job. He couldn't bring himself to return to the office, to the world that had consumed him for so long. He spent hours walking through the city, reflecting on his life and the choices he had made. The once important deals and cases now seemed meaningless in the face of his grief. Victor attended his mother's funeral, surrounded by family and old friends he hadn't seen in years. As he stood by her grave, he made a silent promise to himself: he would not let his mother's death be in vain. He would change his life, reprioritize, and make time for the things that truly mattered. He reached out to Emma, rebuilding their relationship and becoming more involved in her life. He also reconnected with old friends, people he had pushed away in his pursuit of success. Slowly, he began to find a balance between work and life, discovering that true fulfillment came not from his achievements, but from the love and connections he had neglected for so long. Victor's journey wasn't easy, and it took time to break free from the habits and mindset that had driven him for so many years. But as he began to live a more balanced life, he found a sense of peace and contentment that he had never known before. The lesson was clear: success and wealth mean nothing if they come at the cost of the people you love. True happiness is found in the connections you nurture, the love you give and receive, and the moments you share with those who matter most. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.